Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another new release Thursday, but on a Friday. Yes, we're doing that. I had to drop my wife off at the airport and do all sorts of stuff yesterday. So ultimately, we are fixing the past in the present for the future. I don't know, something like that. But we are going to take a look for the next 2 hours and 10 minutes roughly at new games that have released this week. And maybe some that, were sent over by a dev that, they missed like maybe a day or two out of the last week and we just we weren't able to catch up with them. So we're going to take a look at those. I'm going to turn this music down even more. Man, it's pumping, but it's loud in my head. So we've got 6 games, 7 games, possibly 8, 9 games, but because of the time frame we're under today, we're not going to be able to do that. We are going to switch over, and the stream will automatically redirect at noon to Elden Ring. So we are going to jump off like a minute, 2 minutes ahead of time. I'm going to flip some stuff over, and then your stream will automatically redirect over to the Elden Ring stream that'll go for like 5 or 6 hours into the afternoon, or early evening. And we'll be doing more of that. So there's a couple things, like I said, going on today, but just play along with it. We'll see how it goes. We did get some decent games, and I'm going to take a look at those with you right now. We're going to talk about them quickly. Did I see the Ally 2 leaks? I saw the one that is, and I think you're talking about the same thing, Edgar, and welcome, which is the Microsoft Xbox version of that. Is that correct? That's the one you're talking about? I think that's the one we're both talking about on that. What are the new games? So this week we're going to take a look at, there's a demo that's sent out, and this dev's really nice, and it's more casual, so we're going to take a look at Cast and Chill. We're going to take a look at Dead Zone Rogue, which was a new, I believe, competitive shooter that released last week. I think it made last week, but we missed it last week because they didn't get it over, but we got it this week, or it might have come this week. I'm not 100% sure. Captain Blood. This is a former game that was going to be available, I think, on the 360 day. They remastered it, like the Xbox 360, PS3 days, and it's kind of a hack and slash. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at Stand Survivor, another Survivor game, and RailGods of Hysteria. RailGods of Hysteria just released their early access this week, and RailGods of Hysteria is from Troglodytes, which I personally have met before. Met them in Gamescom in Germany, and had a chance to check out their game early on there. Liked it. This was 3 years ago or more, and they finally got the game out, and it's about like Eldritch horror. It is a survival crafting on a train that's an actual like Eldritch god. It's kind of an interesting take. They also have a very cool game if you ever get a chance to check it out. Some people have an appetite for it. That's a pun intended. It is called Ravenous Devils. Ravenous Devils is a time management game about cannibals opening up a tailor shop and a restaurant. The tailor shop's on the top, the restaurant's in the middle, and the basement is in the bottom. You kill the victims that come in for suit fittings and dress fittings, drop them down a dumpster into the bottom of the basement. They cut them up, cook them up, serve them in the restaurant. It's cool. It's an interesting idea. There is a movie. My kid told me there is a movie that's kind of based on that. I can't remember what it was called, but it's a very similar idea. So, but yeah, Troglodytes, they do some weird stuff, so that's one of the other games they make. But RailGods of Hysteria, we're going to take a look at. Joy Aquarium. This is more of like a pixel art, casual, like aquarium game. We got Wreckfest 2 from, is it THQ Nordic? They sent this over. And then I picked up Path of Exile 2. We don't have to look at it today. It's more along the lines of like, I was curious about it, and I wanted to talk to everybody about Path of Exile 2. You can get it for half price almost right now. So you can get it for like $17. And there's some confusion what happens. Well, I bought the $17 version, and you do get a Steam key for it, but you kind of go a roundabout way to get it. So if anybody's curious about that, I'm happy to talk about it. And then I did pick up NBA 2K25 since we're in the playoffs. It's $10. I think I have it on one of the machines. It's a huge game. It's like 140 gigs. We might not be able to get to it today, but there will be a video coming out this week. So those are the new games I picked up this week or received from developers. You know, these basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 were sent over from developers. And then Path of Exile and NBA 2K25 I picked up and purchased for the channel. So, all right, let's jump into it. We got to do a lot, and we're not going to have a lot of time. So let's take a look at Captain Blood. I think that one's a good one to start off with. And this is on Steam Deck. I'm going to switch us over here and kill this music. And we will jump into Captain Blood and see how it looks. It looked okay from what I first saw, but I haven't had a chance to play it. They just sent it over to yesterday, and I was out all day long, dropping my wife off, doing some work for her, and then getting my windshield fixed, which took 3 hours, or replaced. So, yeah, all sorts of stuff. So I didn't get a chance to check this one out, but I do know about it. So we will take a look at it. But I hope everybody's having a great day. Back to Edgar. Yeah, the ROG Ally 2, I'm not super excited about that because I'm excited about the hardware, not about the association with Microsoft, because all Microsoft is doing, from my understanding, is like, again, it's going to be a streaming first connection for them. The device will not be. The device will be like a ROG Ally 2. But for the Xbox branding, it's just going to be basically Xbox Game Pass branded around it, streaming to it. They may have their catalog of PC games, obviously, through Game Pass, but it's not a real big push on that. But for the hardware itself, it's interesting. And I've got another update that we can talk about as well once we get over to the Legion Go. SteamOS has been updated to support new devices. So we'll take a look at what that looks like right now, or after we're done with this. But yeah, let's jump in and take a look at Captain Blood. We're going to do this in random. We're going to be going pretty quick today because, again, it's all screwed up. But Captain Blood is basically a remaster of a game that would have been in the 360, PS3 era kind of time frame. On screen, there I am. I was wondering where I was. It's got basic settings. Like, there's nothing really too much for the Steam Deck to handle here. I think we're going to be okay. But we will turn ambient occlusion down to low. Just kind of set everything to low. We're going to take bloom and anti-aliasing off for the time being and see if we can't get a decent frame rate. And then we'll turn those on and see what we get as well. So let's just go in. We'll check out the new adventure. I'm just going to go casual since we're starting it. Yeah, the chipset's going to be interesting. I agree with you. That's what gets me is like more or less the hardware. The Xbox stuff and all the branding around it, I'm not too worried about that. But the chipset's going to be interesting. Obviously, we talked about it on here. Even with the most powerful integrated GPU, APU, iGPU combos that they can do, you know, the big thing is going to come down to support for any upscaling tech. And AI upscaling, or AI generated frame rates and upscaling, you know, improvements in performance is going to be the key for these portable devices. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Obviously, we've talked about it a little bit. Switch 2 is going to be, in my opinion, the leader for this. There's going to be more Switch 2s than anything out there. And with NVIDIA leading the way and hopefully supporting that correctly, and developers jumping on board to support integrated GPUs, hopefully all of that will, you know, kind of do the waterfall effect or the trickle down into AMD, like Steam Decks, you know, ROG Allies, Legion Goes, as well as like MSI's Claw with the, you know, the Intel. So we need the Switch 2 to launch if we want to have a good experience moving forward with portable devices on PC. It's imperative that that succeeds, and you know, we get the tech built that and developers' attention for supporting that to get them over and really pushing these new AAA games to support these types of devices. It is the most important thing in gaming probably right now. Not the Switch itself, but developer support for things like the Switch. because up until that point, very few developers, prioritize anything to do with like a Steam Deck or Legion Go or a ROG Ally. They think of it as, they don't even think of it, to be quite honest. Very few do. There are some bigger houses that will put some effort into it, but it's usually after the devices launch, or the game launches. They get kind of feedback about 3 days, a week worth of information, data that they pull on devices accessing the game, and they see like, oh, the Steam Deck's, higher up on the list or something like that. It's a Thursday. Yeah, exactly. We've moved it. It's a Thursday, Friday. Yeah, no, the Nintendo Switch 2, whether you like Nintendo or not, they're going to push the edge of what we're doing with Steam Decks and Legion Goes and stuff like that. Not saying you have to like them, but the respect that you need to have for them is their attention-grabbing ability for developers to understand what to do with these types of chipsets. How's that sound? You don't have to respect Nintendo. Nintendo's not the biggest concern. But in terms of what they bring to the table, they are the main course that makes the dessert better for everybody. How's that sound? Let's see. Well, I'm going to see if we can skip it. We're going to actually brighten this up a little bit too. Well, I can't do that right now. It's kind of dark for me, and it's got this weird, like, border effect that they did, so I think... I don't know what that is. Why has it got that border on the bottom? Okay, there we go. It doesn't have it here, but it has it when they were in that... Maybe it's the cutscene was only a 16:9, and they were doing some trickery. Alright, let's see. Yeah, we're getting 57 frames per second. Now, this is a hack and slash. I don't really know if we can control the camera. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like we're on a fixed camera. I've got my rolling. That's your right stick. It's kind of an odd control system, and the camera is really weird. I mean, this would have been reminiscent of like PS2 era. Maybe it was a PS2 game, not a 360 game. I'm just trying to see like what we got. Oh, we got some body slams, but you can do like a Dark Souls roll to get out of the way. It's interesting. That's what the rice did. Okay, let's do some of this. Let's get to the next room. This should be mostly like Bayonetta, though, or something of that nature, like Dante's. Devil May Cry, those types of games. Oh yeah, that's true. When you talk about Nintendo itself, they made calls to support things and maintain like a childish or child-friendly environment rather than moving forward, but then they do these weird things like they have Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3 exclusive to them. Well, Bayonetta 1's not exclusive, but 2 and 3 are, and highly sexualized, character and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I mean, sometimes they make weird decisions. Yeah, this is all fixed camera. It's like playing Resident Evil. Well, no, it's like playing the original, like, Devil May Cry. Or not Onimusha. It wasn't so much like this, but it had kind of that idea. Is this my guy? He is. He's friendly. Yeah, interesting. Can we adjust settings? No. See, once we get in, we can't change anything. I'd like to get to a save point so it'd make it easier for the Legion to go. Look at that. See, when it went into a cutscene, it's got that weird thing. It must be... I don't know what that's for. I don't know right now. Can't figure that out. Maybe... it's more cinematic in that way. They wanted to have black bars. Maybe it's just a choice. It doesn't seem like it's really there to do anything. But we're close to 60 frames per second on this. I mean, this is more traditional style gameplay, so it's... if you're nostalgic and you like this, you're going to get a lot out of it from like a Devil May Cry perspective. Because it's what it feels like. think I have, yeah, a couple special moves. And there we go. Here. Okay, I think I can skip through, so let's not worry about hitting a... let's go back. Let's not worry about hitting a save point. So, we did take a couple things off. Let's quickly make some adjustments here. I'm gonna brighten that up too, damn. And let's turn all of the bloom and anti-aliasing back on, and let's go with ambient occlusion up to there. So you know you can get close to 60. Let's see what we can get if we turn everything on. Very little difference. I mean, we were talking about like... It's a little flashier, but it's basically 1 frame, 2 frames, maybe different here and there. I don't remember specifically, but we're well into the mid-50s. And that's most likely gonna not change because we're not dealing with the 3D kind of camera that we can rotate and has to draw areas that it doesn't on the fly. I don't think it's having to do that. Let's do one quick thing. Let's get out the door. Now I will do a separate video for the channel that's going to be more focused on the Steam Deck. Will actually be the top-down view of it. Yeah, this is definitely a PS2-ish era. I thought it was a 360. It could have been early 360. They never finished it. So the game actually was brought back. It just released this week, but I mean, it was remastered, obviously, but it was brought forward into the future, but it never released on anything. It is super weird. I think it's locked. It's just, it's sitting there. Yeah, it's kind of fluctuating. It does get up to 60 here and there, but I mean, again, this game is not optimized for Steam Deck, most likely. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see when we put on the Legion Go here in a second if it's going to be above 60, because it does have more power, essentially. So let's take a look at it on there. But yeah, it's pretty consistent in what it's doing. So let's go ahead and close out of here. And then we'll switch over to the Legion Go really fast. And we will check it out on there. So give me one sec. But yeah, this, if you want any information on it, I will put it in the chat and in Discord, but here is the Steam page. It came out today. No, actually, when did it come out? May 6th. Yes, 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Still on sale a little bit, but yeah, it's from Snag, and yeah, it seems pretty standard. There is a demo. You can download and play it and try it yourself. So yeah, let's jump over to the Legion Go now. There we go. Now, this is a Legion Go with Steam OS on it. And the reason why I wanted a better experience, so I put that on there. I did originally put Steam 3.8 on here, but the beta channel is testing one that does support Legion Go or Legion. You will see a different view. So with the latest update, they're actually supporting Legion hardware to an extent. That was the Legion Go S, I believe. I have the Legion Go original that SteamOS is riding on, but it's still figuring out that it's a Legion product. Hey, Daniel, welcome. We're taking a look at Captain Blood right now, but we've got about 6 games that we're going to take a look at today. 2 of them are kind of the bigger end ones, like Wreckfest 2 from THQ Nordic. What was the other one I said earlier? Oh, I have like Path of Exile 2, as well as NBA 2K25, but I don't know if we'll get to those today. Well, I'd have to look a little bit more into the story. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to take a look at this one too early on, so I don't really know how good the story is. I think it's going to be, you know, your run-of-the-mill game. So I'm going to leave everything on this one, and we're going to see what this does. Since the Legion Go actually has more power, and we already know it ran well on Steam Deck. Now, this is running at 1080p, 'P, 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 So a little bit of difference. Technically, it should be performing well, but yeah, it is locked in a different... It might be clocking it like 59.94 hertz or something like that. It's causing it to do something weird. I don't know. It is staying like really close, and it should be able to go higher with this. Technically, I mean, it might be just locked at this for some weird reason. But it's running just fine on the Legion Go. It's very much just standard hack and slash gameplay. Well, standard for previous console versions. Retro, let's just say that. We got 10 already, so we're gonna probably jump to our next game, but no, it's gonna be a quick day. Yeah, 1080p is always gonna look sharper, right? Now, obviously, the videos that are gonna show it playing on the deck probably are on that screen, on the Steam Deck OLED screen and the Legion Go screen are gonna look even better because they're more condensed. You know, 8.9 or whatever it is for the Legion Go, and then, what is it, 7.9 for the OLED? Is it 7.9? I know it's in the 7 range. 7.2, 7.1, 7.9, something like that. Yeah, this looks really sharp on here. And, I mean, it's a steady frame rate, so even if it's slightly below 60, it's not jarring at all. I mean, it's right at 60. It looks really good. And it runs really well, even though, again, they may not have ever optimized. It's just whatever engine they're using. Probably Unity. I didn't see, but most likely Unity or Epic or some Unreal, so one of those two is probably going to make it nice. But yeah, I mean, we'll do a little bit, I'll play a little bit further into it. We'll do the video, and that'll be up this week for, you know, the actual on-device view. See what it looks like. But yeah, this is not a bad looking game. It's just weird not having control of the camera. It's like today, in today's age, I haven't seen too many games that their decision for, you know, the design decision was not to have the camera controllable. So it plays like that very Devil May Cry, original Devil May Cry-ish type feel. Which is fine. There we go. Can we get in here? No, they just keep coming over the damn wall. Oh, was there like some kind of move, or did I just learn with my partner here? No, slam move. What did I do to him? Okay, that's a quick kill. Another quick kill. What was that? I grabbed him, I thought, at one point. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I might not have. Let's see. Oh, I just move them out of the way. Okay, that's all. Okay. Hey, Saint Reborn. You're new here, so you haven't really done this. So, yes, we are going to do Wreckfest 2. I can do that next, but we're basically showing about 6 games that we're releasing this week, and Wreckfest is one of them. So, well, actually, I think Wreckfest 2 might release next week. I think it was something like that. I have the Steam Deck OLED. I was thinking of buying the ROG Ally 2 Xbox just because of, I suppose, 99-watt battery. Yeah. I mean, I think that you would probably be better. I mean, it's been... For that, to go to the next version of the ROG Ally, I think it's probably safe to say, especially with, again, the Steam Deck, or the Nintendo Switch 2 launching. Here, let's go ahead and start getting out of this thing. With the Nintendo Switch 2 launching, the focus the developers are going to have on that, I think it's a good time to probably upgrade to a new device if you haven't, right? If you have the Steam Deck, like you said, you've waited 3 years or so, you're going to have an update here that is probably pretty good. With that hardware, that battery, given that developers are going to start, you know, doing work for portable devices because of the Switch 2, I think it's probably going to be a good time to do that upgrade. Yeah, let's take a look at Wreckfest 2. Now, this is on the Legion Go, of course, running Steam OS. You can see again, Steam OS is now supporting like other devices other than Steam Deck. They've started to do that just recently. Burnout, Burnout burned so bad after they changed. Yeah, the original formula was much better on like the original Xbox and PS2. I like that. Even on the PlayStation Portable, the PSP, and that those burnouts were much better. That last one they did was kind of weird. What was it? Burnout. All I remember is they play like Guns N' Roses. There's a Guns N' Roses song in it. What is it? Burnout City? No, it was in a city, right? Kind of thing. So this is Wreckfest 2 on the Legion Go again, running Steam OS. So it is a little bit different. The game hasn't been optimized. I can tell you that. I did get a chance to play this game earlier in the week. Don't expect 60 frames per second from it right now. Again, this is one of those scenarios where the developer doesn't even care about the Steam Deck at this point in time, but give them a week or two once the game releases, different story. They start to do some optimizations, they start to put some effort in, and you might actually see the game performance increase. Paradise, that was it. Thank you. Say reward. Appreciate that. That was, yeah. Paradise was different. It was not as fun as like the old school one where it was like try to destroy as many cars within like 60 seconds at an intersection. That I always like that. I forget what they called that mode. That was fun. They tried to do a top-down version. I don't know if you ever saw that of Burnout on mobile. It was kind of okay because it had that mode, but it was just not the same. A little bit different. Yeah, no, all the PS2 games and PS3 games. Well, not all PS3 games, but PS2 games for sure, and Xbox games emulate very well. I've tried that, ran those as well. They do pretty good. A breath of fresh air. Yeah, we've been playing a little bit on the channel here. All right, let's go ahead and check this out here real fast. So, looking at the options, it is going to be a little bit to the lower side. We gotta force everything all the way to. Whoops, am I not in options? Oh, I was in replays. That's why settings. Everything's got to be forced to low. Whoops, we had a crash. Give me one sec. This game, by the way, comes out the 20. It came out the 20th. So this was one of those games where I think I might have said it's coming out on the 20th. It came out March 20th, and it was one of those games where the developer got it to the channel late. So just so everybody's aware. So Wreckfest 2, there we go. Let's try it again. Yeah, that's a Legion Go S device right there that they're showing. We're playing on the regular Legion Go, so I don't know how much support they have, but they're obviously seeing that this is a Lenovo product. Supposedly it would show a ROG Ally. I don't have mine anymore. All right, is it logged in? Still logging in. There we go. Okay, now let's try it. Just settings. Oh, is it? It's crashing to the edge. Okay, let's try not adjusting the settings and just firing up the game. This is what Steam Deck probably will be a little bit different, but let's try that. Yeah, Doom coming out. That's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to Doom. Hey, Irumus, how are you? Good afternoon, evening for you. Sorry, but welcome. Collecting micro SD card type readers for your PS2. Oh, so you could have them ready to go. Forza games are good. You don't like Gran Turismo? You got a few physical pickups recently, but prices are kind of. I know. I do that as a business. I have a reselling business, so I do resell video games, but I don't sell them over what they are on price charting. Just so you know. But yeah, I've been doing that since I retired a while ago. I came out of the game industry, retired out of there, and then from a game publisher, and then I'd always been a collector myself. I had plenty of games, and I started just reselling them. But yeah, prices are crazy. Okay, there we go. Let's just take a look at. I think everything was set to low when I was playing it prior to the update that they did. I think they did a quick patch this week, so I don't know if that screwed some stuff up or not. But we are getting right now. We're getting about 10 frames more than what I was when I tested this originally. It was getting actually it's getting more than that. Well, I'd probably say on average 10 frames. It was below 20 or below 30. Sorry. And right now it's like bouncing. Now it's around 30. I'm trying to race and watch that. This is a good game. These Wreckfest games are pretty fun. It's got a lot of like damage and everything like that. You know, it calculates a lot. It's almost like playing Destruction Derby from the original PS1, but at a much better visual quality and actual racing. Yeah, it's around 30 frame, 30-ish, 40. It's actually up to 40. It wasn't even getting to 40 when I first tested it earlier. So they must have done a patch, or maybe it was the actual Steam Deck patch, or Steam Deck update that did it on the beta for the Legion products. It's getting better frame rates by far. And this is at 1080p. So if you were to drop it down to 1280 by 720 or 800, you might get a few more frames per second. I don't think it's ever going to get you to 60 right now, but who knows? Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, that was really cool. The damage you actually get in like the rolling, it is really solid in this game. It's really good. Let's see if I can get out of here. I can't. So I think I'm stuck in an area I can't get. Well, maybe I can get out right there. Let's take a look and see if we can get into settings. No, it keeps dropping the game. When I go into settings, it crashes. Let's try it on the Steam Deck really fast. There's Steam Deck. Yeah, this is a Steam Deck. Let's take a look at it on here and see if we can get into settings. It could be something weird with the Legion Go with that OS update that Steam did. I don't know. Let's just see. Yeah, sorry, I got to go back through. Sorry, I got a little bit out of chat here. Why collect physical media? It's just going to deteriorate over time. Some people like the idea of having a physical game. I mean, there's a lot of arguments for everything. Restore save data from Steam Cloud. Hang on, I got to touch the screen here. There we go. I think that's because I closed out of the other one. Did I even close out of it? We may have a problem once we go to fire up the next game. We'll figure it out though. But yeah, physical collecting is fun. You know, some people want the remembrance of like what the games are. I mean, I love my copy of all my copies of like the Lunar series complete collection, like with each of the individual artwork that they made, because there's multiple. There's like 5 different versions, I think, of the game, the artwork on the discs. It's something like that, right? Alundra has like 7, I think. 7 different versions. So if you buy all, you have to kind of go out and search for them. But Alundra from Working Designs on PS1, each had their own individual artwork. And you never knew what you were getting. So it was kind of just this weird Easter egg that was a physical thing. So you would have bought a copy at like Babbage's or whatever it was back in the 90s. And you would have got one version and you'd be like, well, that's cool. That's really cool artwork. But you would have never known really, unless it was put across the internet, and there wasn't really proliferate. The information wasn't there to know that back then. So there was 6 other versions that you could have ended up with. So they were doing kind of cool stuff like that. So maybe that's my part of the drive. Let's see if we can go into options on the Steam Deck. Oh, I went into replace. No, it's crashing out. So it's something to do with Wreckfest itself. We might be able to fix it. let's just try this. We're going to go in and we're going to put it on hotfix and see if we can't get into settings from there. But yeah, that's the big thing. Collecting for that is why. Let me go back. Saint Reborn got Summer Cart 64. Honestly, worth every penny. Oh, to be able to run this. Gotcha. I've never tried any of the 64DD games. Everdrives. Everdrives are pretty cool. A lot of money. Yeah, you do spend some money on those. Physical media is mostly part of the last lifetime. Longer unless you become head in a jar Futurama style. Yeah. I mean, you're never gonna take anything with you. So I see that argument, right? Like nobody's getting out of this alive, so to speak. So yeah, like physical only is for the person that enjoys it. Like my kid has no interest in any of the physical stuff that I have out there. They help me with the business, but I mean, in general, they don't care. They could care less. They understand why I like it, but they could really care less for themselves. Yeah, it keeps crashing out when you go into the settings. Probably something that they need to address. And I'll shoot them a note. Let's try experimental just really quick, see if it'll do it. It was going into settings just fine pre-patch that they did this week. So I don't know. They must have screwed something up. Let's see. Yeah, PS2 games do get a little messed up. I mean, there is disc rot it's a real thing. They can go bad, but usually the media, if you take care of it, it's going to last for a long time. All your DC, PS1, PS2 games still run fantastic. Never had a cart fail. Yeah, I mean, I've taken care of a lot of my stuff. I have had an Xbox game or two that have endured, like, I think it was from printing. They had an issue that killed them. Over time, disc rot actually did take hold of it, but not many games. Yeah, Army. That's like a place where you find a lot of people. If you want to resell games, like go to any Army base, like area close by that, you'll find a lot of resellers and stuff like that because people in the Army move and they don't want to take it with them. Yeah, it's just crashing out. So there's nothing that's fixing it. Let's go in and just check performance on it. It should be set. I'm hoping it just took whatever I had before. I'm just going to take all that off. I had it set to low at 1280p, so or 800p, so it's going to be 720p on here because of the capture card. Let me get caught up here. Da, 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 da. Yeah, unless you're a pharaoh, you can't take it with you. Digital games are fine, right? I have no problem. I've got more digital games. Well, I don't know. I don't listen. It's just like religion for me. I don't care what you think. As long as you're happy, I'm happy for you. That's how I look at it. So if you like digital, I'm happy for you. If you like physical, I'm happy for you. Whatever makes you guys happy, that makes me fine. I have no preference because I really don't care. I am media agnostic in that sense. Whatever makes you enjoy it, good for you. Because it's all just games in the end, right? Like either, that's the same thing can be said about hardware. I think it's ridiculous about, anybody that's a fanboy of like a specific hardware. Hardware does not matter. Hardware is not what you play. You play the game. Hardware is just the media or it's just the control method to get it to you. And even then, I mean, a lot of that's going away. That stuff will be the way of the dino, pretty soon. There won't be, you can see Microsoft's doing it. Nintendo will be probably the last holdout. But eventually they'll have to do the same thing. There won't be hardware to worry about. It'll be just making games. And most of it will probably be streaming in the future. That'd be my guess. Okay, we're not going to go into that. We're just going to check the game. There we go. There we go. That's right. Right. There's always the way for uh, piracy. You know, the thing about piracy is, and we're coming from a publisher, piracy was not as big of a deal. Um, there are companies that obviously take advantage of the idea and they sell it into CEOs because it's another way to make money through this method, right? Steam does not necessarily care about piracy. They have stuff, but there's also Steam games that you can run without Steam involved in it at all. You can download the game and there's no Steam client required. It's a choice of the developer to support it. Steam and the public, the distribution channels, they really could care less because I think they understand piracy is not this big of an issue because there's not as many people playing games that understand how to make a game run. And this is not saying people are dumb, but the reality is most people don't have time to get a game running on an emulator. They don't care about it enough and it's not their main thing. And if they like playing a certain game, they're just going to pay the money and have it run. They're the ones that'll complain if it doesn't run well. By all means, they have the right to. But in the end, they're not going to go out and steal the game or pirate it or whatever. So, and that's the majority. That's 90% of the audience out there, maybe 95. There are 5% of people, and I know there's a lot on YouTube and shit like that, that worry about like getting as many games as possible for some reason and being able to play them and would never pay for them to begin with. That's not a bad thing. It's just the reality. They would never pay for them. So you're never going to sell them on the idea. And old games, piracy has no impact because old games are not sold digitally, right? In very few cases. You're not going to have that. See, this is the performance. Now, I will take it back. The game may be running a little bit higher. What this is. It may be, they may have reset the settings. I can't even remember. Because it should be running at 30s, and it was running like 18 in that crowd. So I'm going to guess that maybe some stuff got reset. Without the cars, it's running about 30, but when I was checking it out before, it was in the pack of cars. It was actually getting like mid to upper 20s. So it may reset my settings. Because it should be a little bit higher right now. And look at the ground and everything again. They broke something with this update. I think I'm going backwards, by the way. Nope, that guy's going that way. I guess I should. But look at that, like texture. That's, I don't know if that's the shaders doing something weird. It didn't look like this before. So there was an update this week. It looks like there's checkered flags all over the ground. Yeah, this is really... And I can't get into the settings. Like if I go down to settings, it's just going to crash and kick me right out. Yeah, well, I mean, that's why you test it. It was fine earlier in the week, and I don't know what they did, but there was an update and it screwed it up. So I guess we have to wait and see. I don't know if we... Let's do one more thing. Let's try... Maybe Steam updated a Proton. Because we tried experimental, we tried hotfix. Let's try Proton 9. I don't think we were on that. We were on 8.053 when we started it the first time. So let's try it on 9. Maybe it's a Proton thing. Hey, Pickaxe, how are you? What's up, man? This is Wreckfest 2. We're taking a look at just new games here this morning. If anybody wants to stay over at noon, I'm going to jump off for just a few minutes. Everything's going to be redirected, and you're going to go to the Elden Ring stream that's going to start at noon and go until maybe 5, 6, something like that. Zalius, welcome as well. Thanks for letting them know. Yeah, well, I mean, to that point, Edgar, even if you bought it physical, the developer would not make any money from it. So, because it's all second hand market or whatever, third hand, well, second hand, third party. I don't know, something to that effect. But yeah, it wouldn't really matter. So a lot of like piracy for retro games, I don't really see being a concern. Developers wouldn't make. This was always the thing. I did work with Ubisoft years ago, and they had a document that showed that a game that would go to, yeah, see, it's still, you go into settings and it just crashes. I would hold off. This, they did something. Something's not right now. It was working fine. Now it's not. Um, let's take a look at RailGods of Hysteria. So RailGods is a keyboard and mouse game, but we're going to force it to work with the controller through Steam controller configurator. So it should be set to mouse and keyboard on the controller. But yeah, Ubisoft had data that showed years ago that if you bought, like if a game was sold brand new at GameStop, that game would have a lifespan. This was a long time ago of like 7 different sales. So every game that went in had 7 different sales over its lifespan. So Ubisoft only made money on the first sale. The 7 other times it was resold, and now that was not even considering eBay and stuff like that back then. They never saw a dime of that stuff. So piracy in that sense is a ridiculous argument for those games, for physical. Got all the Unreal games on Steam and GOG before delisting. Oh, very nice. Official free via the Unreal community. Yeah, there were some of those. Yeah, I think I've got some of those myself. All right, let's take a look at this. So this is RailGods. So again, I have, this is weird here. So you see, like I'm moving the stick all around. No, you can't really see it. Hold on. You can't see because it's not, it's being like killed by that. Let me get rid of this. There we go. So you can see, like, I'm moving the stick all around, up and down, but it's only going left and right. On the Steam Deck itself, though, I can move it all around. So this is one where playing it on the Steam Deck, the trackpads and the right stick are going to work just fine for this. A secondary controller will not. So I have to use another mouse. I have to use a mouse to actually see. Now I'm using a mouse on it that's connected via USB that it can control it normally. But imagine the Steam Deck, if you're playing on the device, this game's going to run fine with your trackpad or your right analog stick. And we're just going to load in to where I'm at. Oh, I was playing it, you know why. It doesn't, they're not supporting, I don't think, Steam saves yet. It's very early access. You can co-op it, so if you wanted to start a co-op game, you can do that. I'm just gonna do a start. This one. There's no, they're very low on the story right now. I might have to grab the There's a keyboard board as well that I got plugged in. And it might be dead. It is dead. Man, I cannot believe the issues you can have with things like that. Let me think. If we do, can I get into the... Well, that's fine. We'll just call it RF. We won't need it right now. It's not a real big deal. You have your character customization. I'm just going to go with accept. Call him John. There we go. Yeah, I forgot that it didn't like the right stick. And for some, oh, you know what? I might be able to fix that. It might be a setting where it's like a flick stick or something it's set up as.
When the stars aligned once
Let
again,
this run
in
for a
eternal
second, and then I'll
cycle
fix the
of
controller.
time,
I might be
the
able to
great
fix it so I
old
can use
ones
it
tore
just
the
straight from the
veil
controller.
between the planes of
Or
existence,
the
bringing
external
chaos and
controller.
madness to Earth. One man saw it coming. Howard Phillips Lovecraft, foreseeing the apocalypse together with a chosen few called the
X-Men,
Dreamers,
welcome. How
he
are you today?
devised a plan to save humanity.
Good to see you, man.
They entered the
swinging in.
dreamlands through self-induced slumber, joining the sharpest minds that live beneath our reality.
Status of
They
Switch
gave birth to the
emulators.
last hope of humanity.
Well, the emulators are still
RailGods.
there. The problem is getting the
Meanwhile, in the
BIOS
wake,
and the game
survivors
key
struggled in the
codes.
last strongholds of humanity.
Those are the two main
Magic
issues.
stations
You have to
along
find
the
them on
endless
torrents.
railways, protected from the madness by giant
You're not going to
shielded
find them
domes.
everywhere. They're not something you can just go to like.
The Dreamers are
Internet
now
Archive
awakened
and stuff
with a
like that.
new powerful weapon. The RailGods, behemoths of Shoggoth plasm and iron, the only ones able to roam through the wastelands of Hysterra, preparing humans to rise against the great old ones. Their power is only rivaled by their hunger. They demand flesh, they demand sacrifice. They need to be nurtured. They need to evolve. In their dark powers lies the key to humanity's survival, or its end. Lead the resistance against the great old ones, become their equal, and banish them once and for all.
Yeah, Switch emulation never really got off the ground enough. It did quite for a minute or two, and then they quickly kiboshed it. Okay, so let me try and fix this right stick on here, because I think what they have it set up to, or I think what it's defaulting to is some kind of like flick stick. Actually, no. I want to go to edit. There we go. Joysticks, right stick. Yeah, flick stick is what it's set to. So let's do joystick mouse. And let's see if that works. Do I have to like click anything else? No. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so for an external controller, you need to go in and make an adjustment for that. I'm not saying they support Steam Deck right away, but what they've got it like defaulted to is mouse and keyboard, and for whatever reason, it defaults. It works fine on the Steam Deck, but like if you're using a third-party controller or another controller with the Steam Deck, you've got to tell it to do a joystick mouse rather than a joystick flick stick. I've seen that before. It's like, I don't know, for whatever reason. I think it's a Steam thing. It does that. So it's kind of like a Diablo looking game, right, in that sense, but it's a craft. It's definitely crafting. Unfortunately, we're going to be kind of digging around in here for a minute. Is it going to allow me to do hold right stick to rotate camera? I think we can, so we can zoom in and out with the right bumpers. I got to see if they have a way to rotate the camera. They may not. I might have to do it with the mouse really fast. We'd have to set something up on the external controller to do that. You'd be able to do it with the touchscreen on the device itself. And then Alt to hold highlighted objects. Tab for your inventory, which is your select. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's kind of working like this. It works better on the Steam Deck directly because you have the touchscreen to mess with, like when you need to. Okay, let's see. Can we close this out? Already did that, didn't I? G to craft to get in the item. Oh, you can just go in this way. There we go. I just need to craft something with it. Like I said, it's not a really good experience at this point in time. It's not the best experience by default if you're doing Steam Deck, like through a second or another controller to control the Steam Deck. So I'm having to figure that out as I go here. So we got the two different things we need to craft. We got our backpack. So we should be able to go into crafting, craft ourselves an axe. Which button do I need to craft an axe with? Might have to jump off screen, see what's going on. Oh, maybe I don't have the inventory. We've got a stick and we got that. Oh, I bet that it needs me to hit Alt, which I don't know what Alt is here. Let me see if I can find Alt. Hold Alt to highlight an object. Hold on. See if we can't figure this out. I don't think it's going to let me. I'm trying to like just get it with the controller. Yeah, this is, let me just grab, I'm going to use the Steam Deck to do this one. I'm just going to pull it over to me. Give me 1 second. Well, I'm going to kind of be off screen. I'll do it from here. Because I can at least control everything on the Steam Deck itself. Because I can bring up the menu. Whoop. Is there an Alt? No. What we would have to do is probably go in and create an Alt button. It's not going to be the best experience without a mouse and keyboard for now, even with that, because you have to do some customization. Let's see if we can customize that. We just need to enable Alt on the controller somewhere. Edit. Let's see. These are our different keys. Do we have Alt? No, we don't. Nope. Nothing. But we do have a D-pad. And we have our triggers on the back as well. Actually, you know what? Let's just make it easy. I am just going to go in. Oh, wait, no. These are triggers on the back. So there's triggers on the back, and then there's triggers on the top. See if I can just add this one in. I think this is on the back. Does that recognize it? There's that. Yeah, now it did. Okay. So now we can go into the crafting. So that's all it is you just have to go in and do some configuration. I could even potentially go in and do... Wants me to hold. Oh. Still wants me to do that. It's still telling me to do something else. Open the crafting tab. See, I don't have a G. So what we would have to do is go in and make a bunch of settings. Like do a full customized layout. And you could add in like G and different things like that. What it wants. So like here we would have to make this one G. If we wanted it to run correctly. There we go. There's G. Yeah. That's, I mean, it's some of the problem that you're dealing with in it. It's just, this game doesn't support controller, so it makes it a little bit more difficult, and you have to wait until somebody creates an actual configuration that you can just download. And if you don't know about that, most of you guys probably do, you can always go in and check and see under your Steam Deck, under controller settings and controller, you can always go in and see if there's other configurations by the community. Nobody's made one yet, so we would have to make one. And then it's just something you download, and it instantly loads all those, you know, customized controls onto your Steam Deck configuration for that specific game. And then you're able to usually play it just like you would with any controller. But this game is brand new. I think we should probably skip it for now. And maybe next week I'll go in and show it again, but after I've configured the controller layout. It's weird because over on IGN, they're actually doing a thing where you can win a Steam Deck that's custom built. It's got like logos and all that for RailGods of Hysteria, but it doesn't have a configuration to run on there. So it's really strange why they did that. But this game just came out this week, May 7th, so yesterday or the day before. And it doesn't have Steam Deck compatibility right now. So we would have to do a little bit of work to get it to run. So maybe next Thursday, I will have that configuration completed, and then everybody can just download it if they were going to buy the game. And then we'll take a look at that game again. It's just not ready to go right now, which is unfortunate. Sometimes it's like that. Let's see. What time is it? We got still another hour. Do you guys want to see... we've got these 4 games here. Cast and Chill, which is... we can take a look at Cast and Chill really fast. Cast and Chill is interesting. But I don't know if anybody wants to see Path of Exile 2 running on it. There we go. Sorry, guys. I was more focused on trying to figure out what we could do there to make that run than I was reading chats. Give me a second to get back into it. There we go. Gonna look back through to make sure I didn't miss anything you guys are asking me. Weird. Chat up here stopped for some reason. I wonder why that is. I see one message from you, Pickaxe, but it's not your most recent one out there. Oh, no, it is. It is. Gaming industry insights. Oh, I appreciate it. I always like talking about the gaming industry. Oh, yes. We're talking about Kingsfield now and Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. Didn't like Kingsfield. So this game's going to be coming out, I think, June 2025, but I don't know the date. They haven't put the specific date. This is more of a casual game. It's almost like a idle game. So it's not going to be super exciting, but overall it is a very pretty game, and it's something just to kind of have in the background. So you can kind of move your guy slightly, and this is, normal controls on here on the Steam Deck. But we'll go ahead and stop, and we will cast our line. Puts our oars down. And you can kind of just see, it's just a game built for, kind of relaxing, just to kill time. We've got a couple more idle games. We've shown a bunch of different ones here on the channel. I don't know if we'll get a bite or not. But it is a really beautiful pixel art design. They made it look gorgeous. I think we're getting a bite, though. Try again. We can even swing around. Oh, let's go this way. Let's cast into the waterfall reflection. Oh, I'm actually over top of it. Hold on. That's not going to help. Yeah, the aesthetics it's really nice. It's beautiful. There we go. Hold the reel in. Store your catch. It'll tell you, and then you just basically go and you open it up. I think there's a way to even have the game run itself. Idle mode, I think, will be it. They haven't turned it on for the demo, but idle mode, the game will kind of just fish, so you can have it in your background, and it'll just do its thing. Let's go a little bit further out. Yeah, look at that. There's a nice deer. It's like Bob Ross in pixel art. Let's go ahead and fish a little here. But yeah, this game, I mean, it's running 60 frames. It's not going to tax anything, so we're not even going to worry about Showdown Legion Go, but it does run there. And they do have controller support, so that's kind of a nice thing right off the bat. Even though it's an idle game, it's kind of built to be ready to go out of the gate. We'll catch one more fish and jump to our next game. I think we should take a look at... do you guys want to see Path of Exile? It's not new, but I'd like to... I can talk about that really fast. I think we should take a look at it. Yeah, so let's do that. Here, I'm going to reel in. Oh, we did get a fish. Didn't we? Yeah, there was a fish on there. A bluegill. Let's go back. There's even a guy that runs the bait shop that you can go in and talk to, upgrade your poles, upgrade the boat that you're in. I think the dog, you can't upgrade the dog. Let's get this all the way over here. There we go. I can even turn the background off. Oop, there we go. Yeah, so here you can go in and check out the guide to buy your new reels, lures. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. Obviously, everything you make, even when it's idle, will expand and open up more in the shop. So it's going to be a nice little game. It's a free demo right now that you can check out. But yeah, it's going to be something more of an idle game that you can just sit in the background. Another one that I've got on here is the aquarium game that was sent over, that Joyquarium. That one's another idle where it can just run. And you can even have it as the wallpaper of your background, and it'll keep running in your wallpaper mode on your desktop. And it's just basically a collection, right? It'll just sit there and collect stuff. It's just fun to watch. So let's take a look at Path of Exile 2 on Steam Deck. Now, I was playing this on the Legion Go on SteamOS. So should be pretty good. I don't know the performance here, though. We'll see what it looks like. What I did for this was I bought this one. Sir, and ultimately, if you go to gg.deals, they're not affiliated with the channel or anything. I just tell people to go there and find like the cheapest games. You can buy this from Instagaming. I know for a fact Instagaming will give you a key that you'll be able to buy it for $17. You will get a key that you have to activate on Path of Exile 2's website. Once you do that, Path of Exile 2 will give you your choice. You can either have a Steam key or you can have an Epic Game Store key. So you do get a Steam key, and it's about half the price of Path of Exile 2 on Steam. So there's a good, little break there for you to get. It's a pretty dark game, though. Let me skip the cutscene and try to brighten it up. It is really dark. Hey, 30, how are you? Welcome. We're going to be jumping into Elder Scrolls here in 1 hour. I was just trying to go through and show some games for new release week. This week. And for anybody that's going to stay here, the stream will automatically redirect you to the Elden Ring. You don't have to worry about jumping in there. Yeah, your internet went down? That's crazy. I know, I get that. Well, Starlink's pretty... obviously, Starlink drops. We can see it dropping here and there, but it doesn't go completely out every once in a while. Let's see here. So, first thing, let's take a look at the settings. Excuse me. I am going to use Vulkan on the Steam Deck here. It tends to run a little bit better. 1280 by 720 because that's what the graphics card can capture. It doesn't capture the 1280 by 800. But I believe on the Legion Go it was running it at 1280 by or 1920 by 1200, so it does support 16 by 10, ratio. So it would support 1280 by 800 on the Steam Deck. And let's just turn everything down to the lowest settings for the time being. Is there a global? I think there's a global adjustment. 83%. So we do have upscaling methods. It does have FSR. We'll actually put it on performance for now, and let's just turn everything to medium or low. And then we can adjust things as we go up. There we go. NVIDIA Reflex, don't have to worry about that on here. Graphics detail, all graphics. I'm going to leave it on all graphics. So everything should be set to medium or low. And the brightness I'm going to adjust a little bit for us. There we go. It seems darker on stream for some reason. And the other game was like that too. Okay, there we go. I think it's going to have my character from before. I didn't get far. I was just doing the testing early. Been playing Midnight Walk. I haven't checked that out yet. Riverbank. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was on Legion Go at 1080p. It was right around the 40-ish frames per second. So it really wasn't too bad. So yeah, for Path of Exile, it does have, controller configuration. You have all of your... Oh, there we go.
Should have stayed dead.
You can do your twin stick, shooting in various directions. Get your roll, so very much like the Dark Souls feel. And I know some people compare it to like a Souls-like. Kind of in the middle of the road. Yeah, there some of it areas it'll hit 60. Now this is all on low. We go in and adjust it. We can probably get it a little bit better looking, more fidelity, but get it closer to like 40 frames per second. But I'm not sure how far 60 is carried in this game. I don't think I can get more. Yeah, it looks really good on the device as well. When you've got that more condensed screen, it looks pretty good. I'd like to get to another area. I don't know if we'd have time. Just to kind of see if anything changes. I mean, pretty much, Diablo runs pretty well on
It's been
Steam
many
Deck.
years since I saw one of these little beauties.
I wouldn't be surprised if this game runs pretty well no matter what, area you're in or, what's going on lighting-wise and stuff like that. Again, we can make some adjustments, at least right here. I don't think there's anything coming for me. And if we go in, biggest one would probably be to go to balanced. Kind of makes it a little bit clearer, and then maybe even up the detail. Oh, I just screwed it up, didn't I? I just wasted all that. Yeah, I did. Let's go ahead and make an adjustment. Save. Yeah, there it's saved. Okay. Now, let's go back up to balanced. And let's bring those shadows up a little bit. We'll bring everything up to like high. Or medium. This will probably get us closer to 40 frames, but it's much better. It's in the 50s now. If you could lock it at 40, that would probably be a pretty good experience. Where is our map? Isn't there an area back here? No. I think we went too far. Not sure if there's an area back this way. Yeah, but this is not bad at all. And especially for like 18 bucks. I've heard so many people talk, well, we can go through there. Heard so many people talk like highly of the game itself. Search for the Miller and find safety in Clearfill. Must be over this way. Oh, there we go. There it is. Across this little rickety bridge. Or not. Blocked. Oh wait, open menus. Oh, I didn't do something maybe? Go to the skill panel. That's what it is. We're so early on, it's like still having me do stuff. Where's skill? There it is. Can't find it. Pick up the skill. There it is. R1. There we go. That's all it wanted was me to do that. Oh no, it didn't. Oh no, I gotta try it now. Now I can move forward. There we go. I didn't see it. So that's 50-ish. Let's see if we go up to... I would probably say, let's see if we can go all the way up to quality. It's like in the fit. What if we go like no upscale? Now we're in the 40s. Okay, that's without any upscale. We're close. We're up in the mid 40s. So that might be the way to go.
Undead wretch! Back down or die!
Guys, I'm gonna go in and do one more adjustment. Okay, so texture quality is already on high. It's gonna look better, I know, on the actual device's screen. About as much as we can get out of it. With FSR, but no upscaling running. If we were to turn FSR off altogether, I don't know what it's going to be. If it's going to drop that maybe. Oh. There we go. Let's just try that. So that would be... Oh, okay, so it has like default is this, okay. Oop. Yeah. That's no upscale, NIS. Okay. And it's still 40. So yeah, this, I mean, as an experience, you can get it close to 60, but I think I'd rather play it this way. I'd rather go, you know, lock it close to 40.
Not dead yet.
You can definitely lock it to 40 if you're running FSR. I might even consider just doing this. This looks pretty good.
Back to the grave!
There's a, you know, not huge enemies on the screen, but not bad. Well, what I'll ultimately do is a new kill this thing. I'll do a video on it and we'll go further into the game. See what else there is, but let's jump over and see what it looks like. Oops, on the let's jump over and see what it looks like on the Steam or on the Legion Go. So that was Steam Deck right there. There we go. Let's take a look. Sorry. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain. That was nice. Yeah, we have plenty of time. So let's switch over. No, we don't need to see Wreckfest anymore. Did this download? No, it's still downloading. It's a big game. It's 140 gigs. It's ridiculous. There we go. Alright, so this should be a little bit more fidelity. 1080p is what it's going to be set at. So we might have a little bit better visual quality experience. And obviously it's working with a little bit more powerful chipset, so there is that as well. But usually what tends to happen is if you're getting 1080p, like say 60 frames per second, that's going to be equivalent to like, well, no, let's say the opposite way. If you're getting 1080p at 40 frames per second, usually 800 or 720p on the Steam Deck is going to give you the same 40 frames per second. That's about the breakdown from the different, you know, performance in chipsets. We'll jump right back in. I don't know where this is going to leave us off. It might leave us exactly where we left off. It might put us a little bit further back. But yeah, the Legion Go, just if anybody's curious, I use the Legion Go with the adapter that runs... Oops, wrong mouse. This is what you can buy from Legion, or from Lenovo, that middle piece. And that's an extra battery. And then you just clip the controls into it. It makes a pretty decent experience. So yeah, this looks much better right off the bat. Just the higher resolution. So let's go in, and we're getting close to 60 right now. Yeah, let's leave this as the default. Let's turn everything up to ultra. Or high. All right, cool. Let's see what we get. Yeah, right off the bat, we're at 50 frames per second, roughly, and we're at 1080p. So, I mean, there is a benefit to the Legion Go. Obviously. And that's always been, right? Especially if you have one, you can see a difference. Now, we could get this to lock at 60 if we were to turn FSR on mostly. But again, I don't know if I'd worry about that. This game looks really good without it. It looks really good in comparison. Oh, jeez. Well, that's the bloated Miller. It's just like a roll out of the way. Roll out of the way. He's not taking my damage. It's like I've got a shotgun, but it's a bolt. down. That map. The D-pad on the Legion Go is not great because it's too easy to fire off that. Try to take out the heads. Yeah, stay away from that. Yeah, that's really good. I mean, that was at almost 40 frames, 40 FPS, so that's not bad. And then here's the... Okay, here's the new area. Can I... Oh, I gotta spend something. Hold on. It's gonna force me to do this so I can move forward. Yep. That's fine. Oh, wait. Apply. Close. Enter town. There we go. Yeah. We'll see what it looks like in here, but I mean, that's not bad at all. It's an interesting game. I've seen it. I've never played it, really. I like Diablo. I like Dark Souls. I think the combo of both is going to be pretty good in it. As long as the story's there, but they're still working on it as far as I understand.
Well, doubt these
This
folk
looks
will
really
have much
good.
gold.
Even on the, you know, I always complain about it, but even on, like, the stream itself, like, this looks really good. I can just, I think I tried FSR and everything when I was playing on the deck, it's about 30 frames per second in this area because of all the people. When I was first playing this, I was playing it on the Legion Go on the device itself, and I had turned FSR and everything right from the get-go, and I was getting, you know, close to 60 FPS, but you obviously had it on, like, balanced or performance, and it didn't look as nice as this, I can say that. But in this area, if we were to go in and make adjustments, I wonder if I can. Is it going to let me? Let me try that one more time. Option, there we go. If I was to go in and put on FSR, and go to, like, performance. Still at 30. I wonder if they have this area locked. It's like almost like a cutscene. Let's just turn everything down and see if it makes an adjustment. Medium. Low. No. Not really. It does have like an effect on it. Well, you can increase performance. Let's turn that off. And dynamic off. And let's just try and force it. So it's into the mid to upper 30s. And it just fluctuates. There's 40, 38, 40. I guess it's just because there's more going on here. Can we leave and go to another area? Oh, no, we have to do this. Who's Renali? Finn, Stash. Yeah, these are all folks, so it's already online, so that's nice. You don't have to do anything. There's the waypoint. I don't think I can get back to the river. I think I have to talk to them. Let's do that.
Friendly's the name. You're skilled with the violence, if what you did out there in the riverbanks is any sign. Another refuge. Well, have no fear. This place is something of a hideaway for many of us now. I'll smith for you what I can. There's a beast of particular dark power stalking us out in the valley.
Oh, sorry.
It
I just did a little
moves on
skipping
you
for us so we can
channel
get
your
through.
violence against
Kindness will get you
Okay, there
killed
we
in
go.
times like these, old man.
Let's see if it'll... So I think that means our quest. Well, it's above ground, below ground. Slay the Devourer. Is that this way? I think it's like saying, hey, no, you need to do one more thing before you leave. Can I go back the other way? I'd just like to see if there's a big difference. No, I'm kind of locked in here until we would do that. So what's it want me to do? Open inventory.
Armor-piercing rounds can break enemy armor.
That there. There we go. Okay, now let's... Okay, so, I mean... We were in the 50s prior to coming in here without having FSR. Just check and see. So let's see. Oh, I'm burned to death. Hopefully it starts me in the same area. There we go. So now we're like bouncing around the 60 range, but we have everything turned on now. So let's turn FSR off again. And then let's put everything back up to high. Ultra. High. And high. Okay. Okay. That starting area is much friendlier, much more friendly to the game than, or to the device than this area. Yeah, you would definitely have to run it with FSR. The starting area, for some reason, definitely allows you to get away with, like, no FSR. I think FSR here is going to be a requirement if you want to get it closer to 40. It looks pretty good though without it, but yeah, for a better experience. I mean, this is okay though. It's not horrible, but as some people have put it, if you have any respect for yourself, get it closer to 60, I think is what they say. Yeah, so let's just turn FSR back on. But let's see if we can put it on to balanced. Okay, there's 40. Let's see some enemies here. I think obviously it's a requirement to for the Steam Deck, but even for the Legion Go, it's not going to be completely use as much power as you'd like. Put me out, roll, there we go. Okay, get back to me all the way to here. Yeah. I mean, it's there. It's a tool. You can make some adjustments, but yeah, not bad. Okay, cool. Let's call it good here. Yeah, best deal that I could tell you is you can buy, at least with Instagaming, you can go over there, buy the key for 50% off of what you can buy it on Steam, close to 50% off. And then when you redeem the key on Path of Exile 2 website, they will give you the option to get a Steam key. Oops, I lost the Legion Ghost signal. I don't know if my cat hit something. Let's go back to the Steam Deck real fast. There we go. All right, let's see. Anything else? We've got a couple, like I said, we've got a couple other games that we can look at. But we did pretty well. We got through a bunch of stuff really fast. Oh, the actual Legion Go reset. Dead Zone Rogue. This is that one that is. I'll get everything prepared to do that because I'm going to have to shut down the stream here. The stream you're watching will automatically redirect at noon over to the new one, so you don't have to do anything. But if you want to, you can also find the Elden Ring stream there. Already is sitting on YouTube at least. But for everybody else, it should redirect for you on Kick and Twitch. It'll just come back on. Go in every language? That's an interesting thing. I don't know. I don't think you would have to do that. Is that Italian? No, that's Spanish. That's really weird. Now we're in like Cyrillic. I've never seen this. I don't know why it's doing this. This is what their plan is to like have every language you have to accept their terms of service. It's really strange. If that's it, it's got to be broke. Secondary input. I think that's what's happening. Let's do this. We're gonna just cancel out. I'm gonna like go through that on the Steam Deck itself. Now let's see if it's in English, if we can get through. Okay, yes. You have to touch the screen to get to automatically reordering them. So that's just another setting you can jump into. Probably before, if you guys can hear me, probably what I'm going to do before we go live with Elden Ring is I'm going to reset all of the network. Because it looks like it's just coming back on, going off, going on, going off, going on. It's still up right now, but yeah, I will, before we go live with Elden Ring, I will reset the Starlink network and see if that'll fix it. It looks like the network's just create, I'll host again.
Where am I? Can't remember anything.
Well, it does have frame gen. Oh, but it only has frame gen for NVIDIA probably. It doesn't have FSR or AMD frame gen. I don't know why. Reflection. There we go. Reflection is the one that did it. So now we've got like 60. Will give you 60. What if we go in and... Uh-oh. It's having a fit with my D-pad. Let's do this. Let's go native. Yeah, it's dark. It is a very dark game. Let's see if we can up the brightness. There we go. There. I think it's just sometimes you have to first who I am. There it is. I mean, it doesn't look bad on the Steam Deck, just right off. I mean, you got to drop a lot of stuff down to the live stream and then like re-upload the other one. Yeah, it just keeps losing it. The stream's just going up and down. So, yeah. Bear with me. I'm going to drop off.